Hi, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We are continuing the Pacific. This is episode 7, titled Peleliu Hills, which is something that we talked about in the last one, and we also saw some of it, the Marines heading towards the hills. It was too fortified, how fortified it really was. And what was the name of the mountain?
Umbrugal Mountains or
Yeah.
Bloody Nose Ridge.
Bloody Nose Ridge, yeah. Exactly. We talked a little bit about that, and then we're getting into some more Bloody Nose Ridge stuff.
Yeah, heavy fighting.
Heavy
Always
fighting.
some heavy fighting on Bloody Nose Ridge.
Yeah, definitely.
And in the comments, I noticed that people are asking, well, what's my name? And I don't use my name. So Major Dad works fine with me, even though it's a sitcom from back in the 80s. But still, Major Dad works fine with me.
And this one is the third episode in the little Peleliu arc we got here, Peleliu trilogy almost. So yeah, as you said, heavy fighting. That's what we're getting into. Some more of that. We definitely got some in the last episode, But besides that, I don't. You brought some stuff this time and some maps, but maybe we should talk about that after the episode, just to get more into it.
We talked about the two campaigns going on in the Pacific, the Central Pacific route and the Southern Pacific route, going to attack on Japan, where the Central Pacific route was Admiral Nimitz, more or less, and the South Pacific was MacArthur. So I just brought the maps to it's easier to point out on a map. We can do that later on. I think it makes good sense to see how.
Yeah.
Also, I made a mistake last time. I said just north of. It's wrong. Just east of the Philippines.
Fair enough. But yeah, visual aids, it always helps. So yeah, stick around for that in the discussion. But I think we're ready to jump into the episode.
Yeah.
And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. Let's go.
Yeah, even there, it's pretty obvious east of. I hate when I make mistakes like that.
No worries. I'm sure the people will forgive you for that.
Please. Never mind.
Oh, that's how many days they are. Damn, wow.
They expected 4 days.
Whoa. That does look like a lot of heavy fighting.
There's a view from inside a pillbox, probably.
Yeah, it looked like it. How many days are we? What was that, like 20-something days?
Yeah, I think it took them about 4 months before they finished.
Damn.
But the Marines were relieved at the end. First Marine.
Nice little detail.
I used to not smoke.
Well,
Guess I do now.
Room service awaits, and there's time to savor every bite.
1100. That guy just gave us the fucking morning off.
nice.
Can't even recognize this place.
I was going to see the airfield's operational by now. So,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty close to where the enemy is at.
Man, this is in the Seabees. Could have come to Peleliu in the seat of a bulldozer.
CB construction battalions.
Ah.
You guys got a Jap sword? Fuck off.
Boys,
Hello, sir.
Souvenir hunters.
Mm.
never run when you can walk. Never walk when you can stand. Never stand when you can sit. Never sit when you can lay down. Never lay down when you can sleep. And never pass a supply of clean water. You're a southern man, right? You realize our ancestors probably shot at each other? At Gettysburg or Bull Run? Got a detail for you.
Sir.
You got a watch?
Yes, sir.
Wake me up in 20 minutes.
Quick little nap.
A good soldier would fall asleep instantly.
Yeah, anywhere.
Whoa. Yeah, they really bombed that place to pieces.
And even with that, it was probably hard to get to the Japanese.
Couldn't get to them. They were in the caves. They were hidden, so they came up afterwards.
Yeah.
Most trees and vegetation was more or less burned off. They used napalm as well and tried to blow up the place, burn them out.
You're up, boys.
Colonel?
No, sir.
Go get him.
Chesty.
Yeah. Looks like Chesty took one in the leg or something. Oh.
Hey,
Wait.
how you doing?
Let's go.
Not doing great.
While killing countless savage jacks in the key battle at
Buy
Guadalcanal,
US war bonds and stamps.
I will tell you, brothers, a fighting man like no other, winner of the Congressional Medal of Honor, America's own Sergeant John Basilone.
Seems like he's had enough of this.
Yeah, he looks kind of full. Dr. Poros?
Or security detail or something? Seems like he's way more content just playing golf for many hours.
Yeah, he had it.
And he lost track of time.
You really have to golf for a long time to get blisters.
Yeah.
All right, stay in your foxholes. Stay alert. There might be more.
Oh shit.
As we talked about last time, they tried to infiltrate during the night.
Yeah.
Get out of your fucking hole at night, because this is what happens.
What kind of guy gets out of his hole at night without sounding off? What kind of asshole shoots the guy? Huh?
An asshole like you.
The bunker clear.
We got it! It's been cleared!
Someone's in there?
Probably. As we talked about last time, they could set up the pillboxes so that even though you threw grenades in there, there'll still be places to stay
Hide.
safe or
Yeah.
hide or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, close.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, wait. Ah, shit.
Get off the bunker, goddammit! Come on.
Oh, shit, they're gonna blow up the bunker.
Yeah. You probably don't want to be there.
Hold on, Bill.
Notice how they drop the pants?
Yeah, why?
They actually believe in dying in their Adam costume. more or less.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you'd have guys running out one hand on the pants and ready to drop the pants if they were shot or killed.
Yeah. Ready to go out in their
Yeah.
Birthday suit. Damn.
So when later on when they surrendered, sometimes they surrendered
Naked?
rally, but yeah, they tried to surrender naked. They were expecting to die. Flamethrowers, effective, but damn, a weapon.
Yeah, that's some brutal shit. It's effective.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the flamethrower guy.
No, if someone, like, if you get hit in, like, your backpack,
Yeah,
it might explode, and then...
I don't want to. What they're saying when you get that task, I'm gonna be carrying what on my back. So, and also they were often very big guys because it's heavy and once you press it, I mean it's like holding a hose spraying out water very fast, so you'll be thrown on your back if you're not ready for it, and burn yourself more or less.
Yeah.
Why don't they just surrender? Because they're Japs. We're gonna have to root them out one by one. Fucking rats.
It was good that he was alert though.
Oh, hey, a flag. What about the katana that guy came running at you with? That must be some souvenir, if you really want one.
Yeah. He's taking his teeth before
Before he's dead?
Yeah.
Come on, just kill the sucker. That's way easier. Thank you.
Makes it easier.
There's that as well, yeah.
He was not that much into souvenir hunting.
Can't dwell on any of it.
And back at it. They are getting fucked up.
I got the sulfur. Let's go. Let's get him on the stretcher.
We need to move him fast.
What's... No, fuck.
There's a lot of fighting going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And still it's very important they get the wounded out.
Yeah. As best as they can, at least. He didn't survive. Oh, shit. Looks like Gani has had enough of watching his guys just die all over the place.
Let's get you out of here. Come on.
And that was like the toughest motherfucker that they have. Or, yeah, he is. But still, it'll get to you.
At some point, yeah.
He is the old breed. If a guy like that breaks, I don't care anymore. Just as long as it's quick.
Fuck, that's scary.
Yep. As I showed you earlier, stay in the hole, ready to shoot.
Yeah.
So like fighting a few yards up during the day and giving them up in the evening, going back down, and then the Japs infiltrated or tried to attack
Mm.
in the evening and during the night, so that will wear you out. Imagine fighting up that way.
No,
The
thank
Japs,
you.
to stay in Star Wars, they got the high ground.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh no.
Oh, shit! Let me fucking shoot him! Yeah, get the bastard! Shoot!
Jesus, why the... It just went...
What the fuck is the matter with you? Why'd you take so long to shoot him?
Damn, Jay, it ain't coming out your mouth, it's coming out your ass.
Look like you in a sack race, Jay.
He shit himself.
I shit myself. It's all over my hands.
You left a trail, boy. They can find us now.
A fucked up situation.
You left a trail.
Sniper got the skipper.
Wait, what?
Haldane?
Ekek's dead.
What? What the fuck? Okay.
That's morally a heavy price to pay for the unit.
Fuck. No. No, no, no. Shit. I had no idea that he didn't survive this.
It's very Game of Thrones like.
Yeah, just like that.
Really beginning to like the guy.
Yeah.
Boom.
I even said it in one of the early episodes, like multiple times, like how much I like him. You know. Damn, fuck.
This is where George R.R. Martin got the idea from. Probably.
Yeah, of course, it's war. Anyone can die. No one's safe. It sucks. Like 'cause it was just like that. Didn't even. Just heard a shot and then didn't even see it. That's gonna be a hard nut to dwell on.
Yeah.
Yeah, two of the people they were really, you know, depending on here, Agag and Gunny. Like,
yeah.
Gunny, he just couldn't take it anymore, and Agag fucking died. So yeah, it's really gonna do something to the morale.
Oh. The stench must be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so warm, so they start rotting like within hours of dying. It shows very well how they were dug in on the mountainside and so on.
Mm. Really?
It's like he got his head ripped off, but he's still in his position, ready to shoot.
Thought I'd bag me some Jap gold.
You shouldn't do it. Doc Caswell says all these dead nips have germs.
He's giving him an excuse not to go down that road.
I get the frustration.
Yeah, but it's nice snafu to just sort of hold him back from crossing that line where you start molesting the corpse and so on, because
yeah,
that's just not the road you want to go down.
No, yeah, that was actually a nice thing that he did that. to go back to
Pool.
Yeah. Time for some much needed R&R.
They're worn out.
Okay, Marine. You've had your look-see, now move along.
Oh, you shouldn't say stuff like that. Well-pressed young lieutenant.
Mm-hmm. It's really taking a toll on Eugene. Understandably so.
I think it was like 50% casualties. Dead and wounded.
Whew. Damn, that was a tough one.
Well,
shit.
We kind of got warned about it would be a tough one, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we were also expecting it just from what happened in the last two, and then moving into the hills, and then you telling me about it, so knowing about it, and but yeah, I guess you're never really prepared for death.
I think I think it shows very well that you can't prepare yourself for stuff like that. Even they knew about the fighting, and when they went in, they were passing the guys going out. They could see they were really tired, the ones they relieved going into the mountains, and they looked more or less the same way walking out. So
yes,
I think the look on the faces. If we talk about the acting, the look on the faces going out, opposed to going in, was they portrayed that very well, I think.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like going in, you could definitely see that Eugene and them, looking at the ones that they were relieving.
Yeah.
And you could see that they were kind of fearful, or that they were maybe fearing for what they were about to do. They knew what they were about to get into, and they could see it on the faces of the ones coming back. Even tried to talk to one of them, the guy that we've seen before with Lecky. I can't remember his name, sorry. But there was like no response. And yeah, just almost given up. And then we got that same thing when they then came back.
Yeah.
And had, as you said, same looks on their faces, given up and almost apathetic. Like, yeah, you could almost like hear their thoughts saying like, how does all this matter? What are we even doing here, maybe? Or and some of them saying like, I know I'm gonna get shot, I just hope it's quick. Like you've already gotten to that place where it's like, why even hold on to my humanity almost? But then you fortunately have someone like Snafu who can talk to Eugene and just pull him back a little bit from that thing we saw in that scene. But yeah, fuck, it's tough, and it's tough watching these guys, and you mentioned the acting, like that's a really like, wow, well done.
Yeah,
because
it's good acting.
They really convey that well.
Yeah,
that whole the feeling there.
And also, even though you only saw bits and pieces of the mountain, you could still see that it was very difficult terrain to fight in. You couldn't really see where the enemy was at, and you were working uphill most of the time. They moved in, they fought their way a few yards in during the day, and then they more or less had to fall back in the evening and then work their way up again next day, and so on. And even though we are supposed to hate the Japanese because they're the enemy, but they must have had it hard fighting in that terrain as well, or hiding during the day or during the bombardments and working their way out again, and not really any help coming in at any time. So it must have been hard for them as well, and they were taught to fight to the death. So it was a situation that was supposed to go wrong, I think, for both parties.
Yeah, unfortunately, and we did definitely see some of that with the Japanese just not surrendering. Even they were dug in still in some of the pillboxes and in the bunkers, got rooted out, and still just went out fighting, and as you're saying, like shedding their clothes so that they can die in their birthday suits.
Yeah,
because they knew that was what was going to happen, because they were not about to give up. And even, the guy who went to take a shit, and then the Japanese, they just, went for him. And that one guy who just chased him, like, he just wanted to get that one kill before he got shot himself, because he knew he was going to get shot.
Also, they've been told that the Americans would kill them anyway, so they thought, well, we might as well go out dying. So
yeah, if that's what that's what you've been told, that they don't take prisoners, then if someone told me that and I was in a situation maybe like that, I wouldn't be too willing to surrender if I thought that they were maybe going to just kill me or torture me or something. Maybe
most of the privates had commanders or officers asking them or telling them to maim the American soldiers, and then telling them that when you do this, you're quite sure that the Americans will kill you if you ever surrender. So that kind of, they kept that going with don't surrender because the Americans will kill you anyway, so might as well go out fighting. And they didn't sign the Geneva Convention or anything, the Japanese. So the Geneva Convention from 29 wasn't signed by many Asian countries, and Japanese didn't sign it, so they didn't really believe in the whole keep only say your name, number, and rank and stuff like that, or you're supposed to treat prisoners of war in a certain way. So they weren't aware of that. So
so
it was
obviously
fight to the death, more or less.
And that as we saw in some of the early episodes, that really almost like surprised the Marines at first, and encountering this fanatic enemy that just wouldn't give up and fighting to the death no matter what.
I mean, the soldiers are taught that the Geneva Convention should give you some nice treatment if you're ever taken prisoner. You're supposed to keep most of your gear, not the military gear, of course, but you should keep your gas mask or your clothes and stuff like that. And they're supposed to treat you according to your rank, so you should say your name, rank, and number, and then they will treat you accordingly. That's what they're taught going in, and then they come up against an enemy that hasn't been taught that.
Or don't believe in it. Or
don't believe in it, fight until the end. So
and the whole thing with mentioned this before as well, with the medics or the corpsmen, that
you're not supposed to shoot at the priests or corpsmen or stuff like that, but that's part of the Geneva Convention, which they didn't sign. So,
yeah, exactly. So there we have it once again.
And they also, once in a while, a Japanese Japanese soldier surrendered, and most of them, they would talk like they were being paid for it, because they were never taught that if you are ever caught, you should shut up, only say name, rank, and number. So they were just talking about what they knew, what they saw, so they were really good sources of intelligence. If you
if you were able to catch one, even though that must have been hard. And I just want to mention quick as well, with just fighting in this terrain and the hills, it also really gave you the sense that, like, they might attack at any point. Like, you are never really safe.
No.
Even during the night, obviously, when they were trying to infiltrate and attack, like, you can't just go to sleep. You have to be ready in your hole for when something happens. And then, of course, during the day, like, you might not get shot when things are blowing up around you all the time, but just moving from one place to another or going scouting, then it might happen as well. Just like we saw, unfortunately, with Agag. Like, they were just moving, and he was just like, hold up here. I'm going to go up and have a look, I think.
You saw that earlier. He went forward to sort of scout the area for the men, and with that comes the risk of being taken out by a sniper, of course. So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I was really afraid for him back then when we actually saw him do it. And this time we didn't even see him go up and scout. And it was probably something, very similar to the other situation. This time a sniper got him.
Yeah.
And you never know. It'll happen like that.
Again, it's very nice build up for it in this this series. The build up for it, more or less, we could have expected it. We didn't, but we could have expected it to happen because there was a build up earlier.
Forward, and they really have been building that character up, so to say, like Agag, and just really showing that he was a great officer, and how much the men, they liked him, and how he was with Eugene, what he told him, little lessons here and there, and we got a lot of that in this episode. But I'm sad to see him go. Fuck, rest in peace, man. That's
Just don't dwell on it. Yeah.
Just don't dwell on it. Yeah, I'll try not to.
So, but it was a good episode once again, and I think it showed very well that that was hard fighting.
Definitely.
And you see all the core was turning white from all the bombardments, and more or less all vegetation was burned off by napalm. And they also, during that attack on Brooklyn Mountains or Blood Nose Ridge, in the beginning, some of the airplanes would drop napalm, which was ignited. And later on, they'll just drop the napalm and just leave it there, and then the soldiers on the ground would ignite it. They knew where the positions were, so they used napalm a lot in the Broken Mountains.
Yeah, tempted to say that very famous line from Apocalypse Now. Yeah. Love the smell of napalm in the morning, although I'm sure I wouldn't love that smell at all. And you were also mentioning the smell and all the dead people just everywhere, just littered throughout the mountains and just blown up and missing like the top part of their heads and just looking like freaking hamburger meat some of the time.
And again, the temperature around 45 degrees Celsius or 110, 15.
Smell, fuck, Fahrenheit. Must have been unbearable almost. Yeah. Although I guess you can get used to pretty much anything if you're in and around it enough, or is that smell just, you're never going to get used to that?
It just smells bad.
Smells
if
bad.
You go, if you're on a farm, you get used to the smell on the farm after a while, but it's humans rotting or carcasses rotting. Yeah. It smells so bad that it will sting your nose.
Yeah, I think the smell of death is not one that you will get used to, I guess. Then fair enough. But man, so they did get relieved towards the end. They did get get some R&R, so now they have left Peleliu. Is that do you think they're done with
Peleliu?
Yeah, now and
that's they when they got relieved, it was actually 81st Army Corps or something like that.
Okay.
Division 81st Army Division that took over and cleaned out the rest of Peleliu.
Okay.
So, but fair enough. And then they went back to Pavu, where they trained, got replenished or whatever you call it, and got ready for Iwo Jima or Okinawa. Actually, they didn't go to Iwo Jima. I can see that the next one's Iwo Jima, but I don't think that the 1st Marines went to Iwo Jima.
No? All right. But yeah, someone's going to go to Iwo Jima, I think. That is the name of the next episode.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to get into next. I'm not going to ask too many questions because I do like to be surprised when watching this. And that's also why for example, I didn't look up like who's actually survived this whole campaign. So that's, why that was such a big surprise to me that Agag, he didn't.
And also, we talked about the maps in the beginning. We don't need to bring up the maps. It was just to make the whole point of the two campaigns going on in the Pacific, where you'll have the Central Pacific one and the Southern Pacific one, just to make sense of how this whole attack on Peleliu Island was aimed at supporting or protecting the flank of the attack on Philippine Islands.
Okay.
But that went on, so you could actually gone around Peleliu.
Yeah, it went on for way longer than
But again, I'll leave that up to the historians to decide whether it was a good idea or not. But a lot of guys died there, and there was a heavy fighting on Peleliu, and we lost Agag as well. So,
damn. We got to see 3 episodes spent on Peleliu. It's gonna be good to get somewhere else, I guess, but I'm sure we're just gonna get into some more fighting here and there, and then like it's not over with yet, definitely. And I don't know, the timetable of when they left Peleliu and like how long it took until like the end of the war from that point. But I know we are in 1944 now. don't remember what month, but
I think they left around October.
Okay. So at the end of the year 1944. So we are nearing the end ish. Compared to when they started.
It took a little longer to do the Pacific. In the Pacific War.
Yeah.
But from here they went back to Pavuvu and got trained there, and in between that and Okinawa, they have the fight at the Iwo Jima. That's where the flag scene from.
Oh yeah. The statues there with the raising the flag and all that
at Arlington.
Yeah,
You've
exactly.
seen it at Arlington.
Yeah, in real life and everything. So I've seen it.
But we'll leave that. There's a lot of stuff with Iwo Jima as well that
we can talk about when we get
to it. I
might
remember real stuff or true stuff, but also sometimes old men remember stuff, and after a while the story only gets better. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it builds and it builds. All right, I think that's then gonna do it for this reaction and review of The Pacific, episode 7, Peleliu Hills. We made it out of Peleliu, and now gonna continue on, see what's gonna happen to Basilone. We also got a little bit from him, seeing how it doesn't seem like he's enjoying this whole just going around and begging people to buy war bonds and stamps and stuff like that for the army anymore. And he did a lot of golfing. And just
in the beginning, it was probably nice for him to be back in the States, but he sort of gets worn out by that as well. I mean, it was something that was needed to get the money for the war effort.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I guess being looked at by reporters the whole time, paparazzi's looking at you taking pictures, you get worn out by that as well. So
yeah, and also feeling like you're getting all this admiration and telling you you are such a big hero for running ammunition back and forth one night, and then you're thinking of like your brothers and who you were there with and maybe what they're doing now, some of them still fighting, and it's like, why am I here? Why am I getting all the glory? They're still doing the fighting.
Yeah,
maybe like there's an element of that, but I'm sure we'll get more into that because I know he's gonna return at some point, Basilone. That's at least one thing that I do know. All right, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we will see you very soon. Bye.